Use your fundamental defense to drive them deep into their trick bag to see what they got, what tools do they actually have available. You may discover early on he doesn't have many. Right? So now we're just going to parry, right? Parry or catch, we call it, right? So some basic rules, okay? You block with your own hand. That means this hand blocks this hand and this hand with this hand, okay? And all we're going to do is parry or catch, right? So he's going to throw his jab. My chin is down, right? Right? He's going to throw it, and I'm just going to interrupt it right by my face, right? I'm not reaching out for it. It's not like two missiles. I'm not trying to knock it off, right? You know, I'm not trying to do any of that or misdirect it. I'm just simply going to try and catch it in the palm of my glove right by my face, just like this, okay? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not pulling. Instincts will tell you to pull away from it, right? It's very common. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to create that space between your hand and your chin. That's opportunity for him. We want that. You want this right here. There's less opportunity for him here than there is for him here. Okay? So as a example, I want you to catch my fist early, my jab early, right? He does that, I pull it, and I come right around, right? It's very simple. All we want you to do is catch it by your face. Throw your jab, just like that. Just like that. Open it up, okay? We don't want you directing his hand. Throw your jab. We're not interested in that. That creates the same opportunity. If he pulls it, you're going to pull your hand away from your face. He's going to hook you up. Okay? Right by your face. Very simple. Defense doesn't mean back up. Hands up, chin down, eyes open, shoot. That's all I'm doing, right? Trying to establish hand and distance control. I'm trying to control him, take away his primary weapon. His jab, which is his primary weapon, the punch he's going to throw more than any other punch, the first punch he ever learned, the one that he's going to use to set up most of his combinations, I'm trying to take that away right off the bat. Right? I'm going to try and see if he has anything else in his trick bag. Lots of amateurs don't have things in there. They throw one or two things and then they're done. They're out of ideas. Use your fundamental defense to drive them deep into their trick bag to see what they got, what tools do they actually have available. You may discover early on he doesn't have many, and then you get to start plotting against him, right? But the first thing you have to do is take control. Take control of that jab of his. Take control of that jab of his. That's all there is, okay? There are situations where if a guy shoots to your body that will allow you to sweep out. There are a couple things that we'll work on where we'll allow you to throw you to, and we'll allow you to cross over, right? Because this hand's supposed to be blocking this hand. There are some examples of that we'll work on, but that's later. Right now, 90% of the stuff you're doing, this hand blocks this hand blocks that hand. That's very simple. I don't want to see this. I don't want you creating space between your chin and your hand. Jab. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay? Good. 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 Excellent. Move around, Nick. Nick, you're in cement. Good. 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 All right, switch up now. Make sure you're both getting an opportunity. Catch it firm. The tendency a lot of time when guys throw is to get their elbows off like this, right? Elbows pointed towards the ground. We punch with our elbows towards the ground, and we defend with our elbows towards the ground. Just like that. We don't want to be creating any space up here. We don't want you doing any of that stuff. We want it just like this, right? Just like this. You got your body protected, your chin protected. Good. Give him some room, Randall. Keep your elbows tight by your sides. There you go. See, when you pull your hands out, you create an opportunity, right? Yeah. Right? Nice and tight. All right, now listen. Same thing, now just throw the right hand, the 2. In a real fight, when you're blocking the 2, you're not going to be catching, you're going to meet it. Okay, you're just going to take it and meet it. Okay, but because you don't have gloves on, just palm it. Okay, but it's typically like this. That's all you're going to do in a fight. You're just interrupting it. Doesn't take much to interrupt a punch. Doesn't take much. Put your hand out here as far as, okay? Now, doesn't take much. You don't have to dominate. You don't have to be physical, right? No matter what I do, don't let me move your hand, right? The further away it gets from his body, the less control he has over it, right? All the energy is out here. He's deleveraged. So anything I do, I can just move him around. So I don't have to touch it very much to interrupt it, right? To steal it, right? I don't have to do much. I don't need to be all animated. I can just simply touch it and it's defeated, right? Here, he's got more control over it. He's got more leverage. As it comes out, he loses leverage, right? Now the punch is moving in one direction. It's far away from his body. All the energy's away. It's easy for me to defeat this thing, okay? Just interrupt it. Don't guide it, but it's easy, right? Now on your own, going slow, one guy throwing the jab, be very deliberate, let him see it coming, right? Either catch it or slip it, right? Catch it or slip it, okay? And when you slip it, ask yourself, am I getting any advantage off of this? Am I accomplishing both my objectives, right? Am I stopping the punch and am I getting an advantage off of it? Am I putting myself in a position where I have an offensive opportunity from my defensive move, okay? All right, let's go. Go ahead.
Can you get an offensive advantage off of a parry?
Yeah. So there's a punch. So let's say a guy, it's a good question, okay? You see this a lot, right? Guys throw low jabs, right? They throw low and they bring their hand back low, right? Throws it out and he brings his hand back low. So this is off the parry. There's a lot of things you can do when a guy throws a low jab like that, like my mouth salivating right now. But on this particular thing, the simplest thing to do is catch and push, right? It's a very simple punch. All you do is, right? It's a setup. It's similar to the catch and shoot, right? All you're doing is, boom. It's not going to have a lot of juice on it, but he's going to run right into it. I can guarantee you that most of the time it's completely unexpected, right? Most people think you're going to block with this hand and shoot with this hand. This hand's tied up. It's not. Boom, right? And then that's your money shot, right? Or you're just freezing them out. What are you doing? Now you're making them cautious again. For God's sakes, I can't even throw my jab without getting punched, right? He's punching me with hands I don't see, right? It has a lot of value. Not every punch has to knock a guy out. Not every punch has to hurt, right? Some punches have to send messages. That punch says, no matter what you do, I'm going to be able to punch you in your face. I'm going to punch you in the face with the same hand on the same side, right? Okay, that's an easy technique for a lazy jab. Parry, 2 over top, nice and short. Struggling, Nick. There's an interesting thing transpiring. It can help us all. Go ahead. Nick's caught up in his head, right? You're caught up between what should I use, my slip or my, or my catch or whatever it is, right? Okay. Your hands go first. We'll be teaching you how to move your head, right? But there's going to be some people that have better reflexes than you, than hand speed than you. And you're just simply not going to be able to get out of the way quick enough. You don't have those reflexes, right? The timing is such, and they're masters of space, and you're going to be right there. Listen, you watch every pro fight. You're seeing a head go back like this with pro fighters, good pro fighters, right? Canelo gets caught. Floyd gets caught, right? Everybody gets caught with that, okay? Sometimes you don't have the reflexes to keep up. And you can't establish the distance, proper distance for you to be offense, have opportunities, and for then your reflexes, so then you make them come through your hands, right? Then you make sure that you're in this nice, tight, traditional style that they got to come right through your hands, okay? Then you try and establish hand control first, right? Hand control first, because sometimes your head movement's just not going to be enough. Some guys are just, no matter what you do, right? Put yourself like this, establish hand control, try and dominate them, use your distance, try and establish control with your hands, and then let you build your defense around that, okay? But you can't always be quicker than people. You don't have the reflexes all the time to be faster. Sometimes it's going to not work your way, right? When it's not working your way, right? Establish hand control and then build off of that, okay? Build off of it. Let's go.